Danielle with BehindTheMusicMedia.com. Can you introduce yourself for us?
Yes, I'm Sam and I sing for the band Paradise Fears.
Alright, where did the name Paradise Fears originally come from?
A really terrible idea that a random sophomore in high school had in Vermillion, South Dakota in the year of 2008. I named our band Paradise Fears the Turtle. We were doing cover songs. Thought that was a really funny name. We decided it was a really stupid name actually. And you want to know how I know it's not funny? Every time I say Paradise Fears the Turtle, nobody ever laughs. Nobody in this room laughed. And so we decided to drop the Turtle and Paradise Fears stayed. And now it's cool because everyone's always like, oh my god, you guys are so deep, like Paradise Fears. We're like, totally. We're totally deep.
Alright, how did you start playing music?
I was raised in one of those households where you sing before bed every night from age 2 until age 16. And when there are no soloists in church, you have to step up and sing. And your mom's directing musicals, so you have to sing. So that's when I started singing, and then instruments just kind of came naturally after that.
Alright. Since there aren't a lot of bands from like South Dakota that people know throughout the nation, how do you think that changes your image as a band and what you can bring to the music industry?
I mean, I think it's really funny. It gives us kind of a cool little like, oh, that's their thing. They're from South Dakota. They're those guys. And every time we meet anybody, they're like, oh, I've never met a band from South Dakota. We're like, no kidding. There's like 15 people there. So it definitely, that's how it changes our image. I think it's a completely different kind of mentality because coming from South Dakota, you're not given many opportunities, and there isn't really a music scene for you to develop in. So we very much are developing nationally as opposed to learning to play shows locally and then branching out.
Okay. You guys are currently on your first headlining tour. How has that experience been different from previous tours for you?
It's wild. It's a completely, it's so amazing how like just the look of touring is so different from where you're at on the show. Like we've spent so much time being first of 3 and first of 5 that now that we're headlining, it's wild. We get our own dressing room every day and we get to play for a full hour. I'm singing 14 songs a night. My voice doesn't like that very much.
I'm sure it's a lot of stress on that.
It is. You can probably hear it now.
When you guys play a show, do you have any pre-show rituals?
We used to all get together and shout to infinity and beyond, but then we decided that was maybe like a little bit lame. Not super lame, certainly, but a little bit. So not really. I have like certain vocal exercises I have to go through that my speech therapist taught me that look really ridiculous, like all these like, weird breathing things that I do. But no, I wish we were more ritualistic about it. I wish it was like, yeah, I drink 3/4 of a cup of orange juice 10 minutes before we take the stage every night, but I'm not that methodical.
Alright, what is your favorite part about performing live?
Watching reaction.
Okay.
I think any performer does it for reaction, so the moments in our set that I look forward to the most are the ones when I know people are going to be singing along, or when I know people are going to scream. And the walls are singing. The walls are singing. Thank you so much, Chicago.
Going along with that, what song has the best fan response for you guys?
I mean, I think it's different. We've got a kind of a different, different type. When we're doing support touring, usually it's like whatever cover we play. But this tour, Sanctuary is pretty. It's our single. It's our slow ballad song, and we played it as an encore, and it's a pretty amazing moment.
Speaking of that song, you guys decided to re-release that song.
We did, yeah.
What made you decide to do that?
It had become our most popular song, and the song was very defining for our band, and definitely a lot of people were really reacting with that song, and but we weren't really we didn't really like where it was at, because when it was recorded, we were like, we were just high school kids, like no idea. It was our first time ever recording a song ever, so we were like, okay, we need to breathe new life into this, give this song more emotional appeal, that kind of thing. And it also, we live, I had added a spoken word section in the middle of a long instrumental, so we decided we wanted that recorded because that was, people were really getting into that particular phrase.
sword. It's like darkness is the belief. And we don't give a fuck who you are. Regardless of how lost you are turning from. Regardless of how far. We all the worst. Of your broken, bruised, and pain. It has to do with music. When it ends, you feel no pain. That's what you did. I promise we forget it. All it's left in your voice, you got nothing but to raise it. All you broken heart. All you can check is dream. Let yourself be free. You need a broken wing.
You also decided to film a music video for that song. Where did the idea behind that video come from for you guys?
Well, it was very much, and the idea developed very organically from sort of where the song comes from. Because I do, being that it is kind of a more meaningful song, we get asked a lot what it's about, and it's, I mean, that song is kind of my story growing up. Because every time I was frustrated or upset or scared, I found that there's this beautiful grand piano in my church's sanctuary, and I would just go in and I would play, and it started to get to the point where I would go in like almost, like not every night, but like I would go in all the time and I would just play this piano, and it sounded beautiful in this room, and that's where I wrote the song, and it was kind of about having a spot of safety. And so when we decided to shoot a video for the song, I was like, well, it only makes sense to do it in the room that the song's written about, with the piano that the song is written about, and kind of create this amorphous character that your audience can put themselves in the place of, and they can find safety and comfort in that room and in that music, just like I did.
That's awesome. You were recently in Tennessee writing. How was that writing experience different from previous writing experiences for you guys?
It's cool. I mean, they're all very different. Tennessee, we were writing with Brian Dales of the Somerset, and that was really cool. We were writing with him and this producer who we're super comfortable with, Jordan Schmidt. And that was probably the most fun I've had writing ever, because it was such a laid-back atmosphere. And I mean, Brian and I are pretty good friends, and he's like a really, really great guy and an incredible writer. So we would just, and all we did was like 5 days of all day, every day, just writing. And so actually my two favorite songs that we have already ready to go for our next record, both were written in Nashville. But I mean, it's different everywhere. Writing in LA it's like, that's almost like a process. Like you feel like every song is almost like factory produced out there, because that's where music happens, is LA.
A lot of fans asked us, when can they hear those songs?
Boy, I don't know.
All right.
There's a lot of factors that it depends on. We don't want to release an album until we have the songs that we're completely ready to go with. There's a very good chance that we'll be releasing it on a label, depending on what kind of interest we get in the next couple of months. And all of those things would either slow down or speed up the process. All we're going to do, I mean, right now we're just going to keep writing songs, because we want to make sure that when we do release something, it's 12 songs that we're incredibly proud of.
Awesome. You guys have also recently been putting out a lot of covers. What makes you decide to cover a song?
Well, our rationale for doing covers is that I can't stand the thought of being irrelevant. I never want to fade into obscurity. I want to be like the first thing in people's minds. And in order to do that, you need to keep releasing things. But, I mean, we oversaturate a market if we keep releasing original music, so we were like, oh, well, let's just do covers, breathe our own life into them, so we can keep every month releasing a song, so everybody has tons of stuff to listen to of ours. Picking the song, I would love to say that we do it based on like what we think we can do a really cool arrangement of, and songs that we love and are passionate about, but it's much more about what we think is going to get traffic and what is being discussed musically. Like that Payphone song by Maroon 5 is the biggest song in the world right now, and so we wanted to make sure we were a part of that discussion.
After this tour, you guys will be on tour with Forever 6 Kids.
Yeah.
What can fans expect to see from you guys on that tour that's different from previous tours?
Well, we're playing a different set. I mean, it's going to be, we're going to play, I don't know if I'm allowed to promise this yet, but I'm fairly certain we're playing a new song.
Okay.
Which is going to be kind of cool. That's exciting. And it's a song that we all really, really like and are really, really proud of. So definitely, yeah, I think we're playing a new song. We're doing a couple of different arrangements of previous songs. But I mean, and you also, it's us with Forever the Sickest Kids, so it's a different crowd experience. It's going to be a different like mood of show. So.
But after that, what are your plans for the rest of the year?
We'll be doing a lot of writing. We have studio time scheduled to go in and record quite a few more songs, which is awesome. And that's in September. We've got another tour in August lined up. It will be announced, I think, in a week or two. And I mean, we just recently signed to the agency group to book us, and these shows have done so well that touring is getting a lot easier for us. We're kind of able to pick and choose support tours a little more, so you can bet that we're going to be touring.
Alright, and as behindthemusicmedia.com, when you hear the words behind the music, what does that make you think of?
Well, I always think of my mom used to talk about this, like, aren't there like VH1 behind the music specials? Every time I would do anything musically growing up, she was like, oh, gotta remember this moment for when VH1 shows up and wants to interview me for your behind the music special. So that's kind of immediately the thought that's conjured in my mind. I think what is behind the music is the character and persona of the people that are creating the music, because I think that's, you can draw direct parallels between music made and the character of the person who's creating it, and if you can't do that, then the music is disingenuous and your band's going to fall apart.
Awesome, that's all we have.
Very cool, thank you very much.
Thank you. For people who have never heard your music before, where can they find you guys?
They can find us at facebook.com/paradisefears, twitter.com/paradisefears, pretty much anything.com/paradisefears is going to land you on a site with our picture on it.